Okay, as you can see, my mouse is here. I may be using my mouse to point out a few things. But this very first slide, of course, the image on the left is the cover album, or the album cover of Petula Clark's Downtown 1988 80s remix, which we kind of broke down yesterday. Showed at least two hidden 666s there. I'm going to show you a couple more things that we discovered, especially Paula discovered this morning. And what I wanted to point out with this very first slide here is on the right-hand side, of course, that's our beloved Mr. William Tapley. And that's a screenshot from the video that kind of started all of this. That's his video called Bible Prophecy, The Antichrist Will Come from Istanbul, Turkey. And the reason I'm showing them side by side is, follow my cursor here. Of course, we looked at these dash marks here in the middle, and I broke that down as showing 2/3, or 666. And what I thought was very interesting was that in this background that Mr. Tapley put together to show where the Antichrist would come out of, you can see he also has these dash marks. I just thought that that was pretty interesting. What are the chances of that? And of course, if you look like right here across his forehead, right here is where Istanbul, Turkey is. You can see it's due east of Rome, which is that's part of the. And again, if you haven't watched his video, please go back and watch this video that he put out May 30th of 2009, about 14 years ago. But don't you think it's pretty interesting that he did this background too, which must have taken him a very long time, especially all the blue water. But it would have been a lot easier for him just to put solid lines here. But he decided to do these dash marks, and I think it's really interesting again that this particular video, out of all of his 2,000 videos, this is the one that has dash marks on a map. And we also see the dash marks on this Downtown 1988 remix album cover. So that's the first slide. I wanted to point that out right away. So let's go ahead and head on to the next slide. And of course, this is a slide, just a review from last night. These dash marks represent 2, which is a number in Bible prophecy and in sacred numerology that represents man and woman. 1 + 1 = 2. And again, I pointed out that these are black dash marks, which would make sense because it represents a man and woman who are sinful. And then you have this sort of dividing line here, just like a fraction, and you have 3 dashes that are light colored, which represent the Holy Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. And of course, 2/3, or placing man and woman before or over God, yields the decimal 0.666, which equals 666. Indiana says, yes, interesting that both videos have dash marks. Coincidental? I don't think it is. I think it's really an indication that that we're onto something here. And that, again, that gives more credence to Mr. Tapley's original claim that the Antichrist will come out of Istanbul, Turkey. Let's go ahead and head on to the next slide. So you might be wondering, why am I showing a picture of my brand new shoes? Well, I just bought these shoes about a week ago. And of course, I grew up, and I've actually watched Michael Jordan play. My Indiana, you might be interested in this. My father had season tickets to the Indiana Pacers, and so I've been going to the Indiana Pacer games all my life. And I've seen Michael Jordan play. Of course, I like Michael Jordan. We all know that Michael Jordan has the number 23. He, single-handedly kind of made that the most popular number in the entire world. You have people all over wearing his jersey, number 23 of the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan. Well, I know that a lot of his shoes have the number 23 on them, and I specifically bought these shoes because when I first saw them, I thought, you know what? These don't have a number 23 on them. I'm going to go ahead and get these. And plus, I really like the earthly tones. I mean, it's a nice shoe. I really like the colors. It's very casual. Kind of can match a lot of the different, kind of browns that I wear, or other kind of brighter colors as well. And I just thought that they would match with a lot of different things that I could wear. So I didn't really think twice about it. I went ahead and bought them. They weren't really too expensive like most Jordans. And really the number one reason that I bought them about a week ago was because I didn't see a number 23 on that, on the shoe. Because usually it's on the back or it's on the tongue. It's not on the tongue or the side or somewhere. But I was mistaken. There is actually a 23. So let's take a look. Do you see? And what's funny is I actually saw these dash marks, these stitchings that look like dash marks, just like we saw on the Petula Clark album. I saw them when I bought them, and I didn't think anything about them. I just thought, oh, that's kind of cool. They put a little stitching in there. I like that little design. That's cool. Didn't think anything about it. But as you can probably already see and tell, there's a 2 and there's a 3. 2 before 3, 23. And of course, there's Michael Jordan, who popularized. That's a really hard word to say. The number 23. So, unfortunately, my brand new shoes do have a 23 on them, just a little more hidden. I did not realize it until after I noticed the dashes on the Petula Clark album. So I think this is very providential that I bought these literally a week ago. And it also has dash marks stitched into the shoe to show the number 23. All right, let's move on. Now, I have to give credit to our wonderful WFRN member, Paula. She emailed me early this morning, and I could not believe what she had discovered. I thought it was absolutely incredible, and I'm going to share it with you tonight. It is about these dash marks that we see on the Petula Clark album. All right, are you ready? Well, we're going to learn a little bit of International Morse Code. I don't know how she thought of this, but she did, and I couldn't believe it. So we're going to actually look at some Morse code. In particular, we're going to look at these two letters, M and O. And I've got this kind of animated, so we're going to first take a look at the M, which is represented by 2 dashes, just like we see. And if you see my mouse here, here's my mouse right there. You see my mouse, see the 2 dashes here? Well, that actually not only is just 2, but it also represents the letter M in Morse code. There's 2 dashes. I mean, they look pretty much the same to me. Very, very, very interesting. Now, what does that M represent? Well, that M represents mankind, or male and female. There's the M. And take a look at the 3 dashes. What letter does that represent? The letter O. And what does the letter O represent? One God. And not only that, an O is the shape that we call a circle. And a circle is an endless line having no beginning and no end, which is often used to symbolize eternity or God. So here is, right in the middle of the Petula Clark 1988 Downtown Remix cover album, it literally says mankind before God. Or, placing man before God. That fraction of 2 before 3, or 2 over 3, which again breaks down or yields the decimal point 666. and then just take away that little decimal point, and you get 666. So thank you, Paula. Absolutely incredible that she discovered this. It's really amazing. I just can't believe it. Just unbelievable. All right, so the letter S is represented by 3 dots. And we have on this album cover, now I don't know if I'm stretching this one a bit, but maybe not. We have these 3 random dots here. And so I thought, oh, okay, well, let's play that old game, Connect the Dots. And what do we have? It looks like a snake or a serpent. So there we have the letter S representing the serpent. I tried to find a serpent image that would go and connect to these dots really well. I found one, but I couldn't really get it quite. So I just did the drew a line. I mean, that looks about as much as a serpent as any other serpent. You know, they're just a real long line, basically. You know, so it was kind of fun playing that old game, Connect the Dots. And again, this is the Morse code for S, which is dot, dot, dot. If we come back here, you can see the letter S is represented here with 3 dots. And it really does make you wonder, I mean, what are those 3 dots doing there? They've got to be there for some sort of reason, and I think this is why. You connect the dots, and it looks like a serpent. And of course, Mr. Tapley noticed that her right side of her dress looks like a serpent right here. That's the head of the serpent. And then Paula noticed her face kind of looks like... it really looks like, to me, it looks like Ronald McDonald, that kind of creepy looking evil face. It really looks like Ronald McDonald. Anyways, let's move on. Okay, so another thing, I was really trying to figure out these 8s, the double 8s, and why was this put out in 1988? And I thought, well, number one, they look like chain links, and I thought that was kind of interesting. You know, chain links together here look like the number 8. So I just wanted to point that out. And then this one, I'm going to actually close down because I'm going to be doing a little bit of. Hopefully, this will work and won't mess up. I've been trying this all. Is it going to mess up? Looks like it's not going to work for me today. It worked all afternoon here. Okay, we'll just move on anyways. But actually, I can go back here and just show you that, these 8s here look like 6s kind of put together. I was going to actually do some reversing and kind of manipulating these, but it's not letting me do that. Of course, I knew that would happen, but anyways, we'll move on. So as I was thinking of the 8s, and why was that album put out in 1988? I thought of the card game Crazy 8s, and then also that, if you remember that Kelly was her name, Carly Rae Jepsen's song, Call Me Maybe. One of the lines says, "This is crazy." And of course it will be crazy. The Great Tribulation will be crazy. And I also thought the Crazy 8s could be, the 2 8s could be, one could be the Antichrist and one could be the false prophet. Because you would have to be crazy to be either one of those people. Knowing your fate is being thrown into the lake of fire, thrown into hell alive. So you would have to be crazy. So maybe that's the Crazy 8s. Maybe that's what they represent, perhaps. But I sent this over to Paula, and I asked her. I said, "Have you ever heard of the card game called Crazy 8s?" And so she did this little breakdown just of this box here of Crazy 8s. So she said, besides the Crazy 8s title, the card game is loaded with symbolism. First of all, the product code up here, if you add up all the digits, it equals 18, which can be expressed as 6 plus 6 plus 6. The primate is an ape of God. The ape's right fist has the pinky and thumb sticking out, but the middle three fingers tucked under. If you look here, right here, you can see the pinky and the thumb is sticking out, and the three middle fingers are tucked under, which is showing a 2/3. Of course, it's listening to music, which is Lucifer's specialty, music. The two musical notes, here we have a musical note and a musical note over here. When they're reversed, it equals 666, and I did an animation of that to help you see that a little bit better. So let's go ahead and show that. So what I've done is I just copied these and reversed them, and you can clearly see that the music notes look like a 6, 6, and a 6. Further on, ages 4 and up, 2 or more players, of course 4 plus 2 equals 6. Right here in the corner, it has 5 yellow cards behind a red circle labeled card game, and that pair of words has a total of 8 letters, and each separate word has a numerical value of 8. So together you get 88. The number 8 can be seen as 2 sixes joined head to head, one of which is inverted. And that's what I was trying to show you with the last PowerPoint, but it wouldn't let me go back to the where I edit the PowerPoint. So crazy eights, pretty interesting. And remember, again, Carly J. Jepsen in her song said, here's my number, this is crazy. I just met you, this is crazy, here's my number, so call me maybe. All right, on my video that I posted, I uploaded a video of the presentation as sort of yesterday's presentation as a trial run. And I got this very interesting comment. Now, I haven't seen Steve Radio in the chat, but he left a very, very interesting comment. He said, "Hi, Kyle. Wanted to point out that a 2021 movie called Last Night in Soho, Downtown, was sung by the lead in the film. Her name is Anya Taylor-Joy, and the movie grossed $23 million at the box office." So there's that 23 again. I did search that, and this is a screenshot of searching $23 million that it grossed in the box offices when it came out in 2021. And so I thought, you know what, let me go check this out on YouTube. And so I listened to I went to here, I'm just going to show you actually. I went to this video, Last Night in Soho, Anya Taylor-Joy sings Downtown. Again, this was put out in 2021. And this was actually put out, this video was actually put out here in just 5 months ago. I did this screenshot today. And what I thought was really interesting was, look at this top comment. He says, Tom says, "The way it begins, so magical, then gradually becomes more horrifying and uncomfortable." Doesn't that kind of sound like the way that the Great Tribulation would begin? It's going to start probably pretty magical, and then gradually it's going to become extremely horrifying and extremely uncomfortable. And what's even more interesting is when I looked at this video today, I'm going to go to the next channel. Look how many likes that it had. 87. And when I hit the like button today, I did this screenshot today, and I hit that like button today, it went up to 88 likes. Isn't that providential? I couldn't believe it. I was like, are you kidding me? You know, I had just went on this today. I hit like on that comment, because I really do believe that comment is very, very interesting. Because, of course, when the Antichrist comes on, it's not going to be, I don't think it will be completely horrifying at the beginning, or he would not convince anybody to take the mark of the beast. So it's going to be very magical. And I did listen to the song and watch this particular video, and it does start off very magically, and then it just kind of becomes more sort of horrifying and uncomfortable. It's really a strange version of the song Downtown. But isn't that providential? The moment I hit like, that was my like, and I'll go back here. It was when I first went on it. You can see the screenshot shows there was 87 likes, and when I hit like on that comment, there were now a total of 88 likes. And it's interesting. I never thought of the number 88 until just a few days ago. So very, very interesting, I thought. Well, that brings me actually to the end of the presentation for this evening. That's probably, I guess, maybe all, oh, look at that, 18,000 views. There's another 666, 18, 6 plus 6 plus 6. They almost have, well, they just went past 666 subscribers for this Focus Features particular YouTube channel. But anyways, all right, let's go ahead and head back. That is the end of the presentation. Oh no.